much for your time. Firstly, from where you are, give us a sense of the level of protests currently taking place.
In my place, the place where I am currently
Across the
is
country. Across the country.
across the country. Across the country, I would say, even though the military crackdowns are showing no limit anymore and just manifesting more brutality, the people are getting or like gaining more anger. But I would say the momentum of the mass protests is decreasing day after day.
I understand you fled Rangoon, where you are living. What is the situation like there at the moment?
You mean Yangon?
Yes.
Yangon, I would say it is not safe for everyone to stay. It is just like a war zone where either you may or may not protest, you may or may not involve in the activist rings. There is constant risk of your losing your own life, or being got arrested.
Are you able to stay in touch with your family and friends?
Fortunately, yes, there are some internet connections still operative in Yangon, although mobile data and broadband Wi-Fi has been shut down for like a week from now.
And with that in mind, how difficult is it for opposition groups to operate as they deal with that internet blackout?
It is getting more difficult, and it is also responsible for the decrease of the protest momentum that I discussed before. The communication blackout, and it effectively capped the efficiency of the protesters, the opposition groups, to communicate, stay in touch, and mobilize people.
Now, the UN Human Rights Chief, Michelle Bachelet, has just issued a warning that this could turn into a Syrian-style conflict. Would you agree?
The truth is that we're not longer in the safe place all across Myanmar, but there will be differences between the Syrian-style conflict or desperation. First, the ethnic armed groups, which could be considered the most effective armed opposition groups. Not solely, not entirely interested in getting on board by discarding the ongoing peace talk with the government. But on the other hand, the cities and the towns and the villages are not safe anymore. The soldiers shoot anyone at sight, and they just don't have no limit when it comes to brutality. So it is hard to tell whether it will take the same form.
But given what you've just said, do you think there could be a point where there is enough unity among all those opposition groups to stand together and force the military out of power?
It is hard to say because what we all have been looking forward to is that kind of unity, the consensual agreement between the pro-democracy or anti-junta, anti-military movements, the protesters, the political leaderships, and the ethnic armed organizations. But in my knowledge, we are still far from there, from that unity.
From where you are at the moment, how do you see this playing out? What does the future hold?
It is. I would say it just depends on the political leadership. Like in the 1988 uprising, the people has done, and they even over-delivered what they have to work, what they have to do. They sacrifice their life, sacrifice their freedom, sacrifice their convenience. But we still need some gaps in the political leadership where the elites should work out before the opportunity windows shut down.
I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Moving on, and for the second time in 2 months.